Good morning, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to another riveting day of art. Today we're going to go ahead and be talking about color schemes, the color wheel. For a lot of you, you might have a lot of information and knowledge about color. For those of you who are in 3-4, there is a good chance that you've already done a good lesson on color. However, always remember that it is a very good idea to always review and refresh. I myself struggle sometimes with color and remembering all of the moving parts. And so again, it's never too late to go over and review. So for your materials, you're going to need your art book, you're going to need your ruler, your pencil sharpener, and then you're going to need specific color pencils. Now, I noticed that the color pencils are not labeled or named, so we specifically need a red, yellow, and blue, but I want you guys to grab a specific red, a specific yellow, a specific blue. So if we look at all of our red color pencils, and we put them all in a line, we are looking for this one right here. So not the two really dark ones. These two are pretty close in color, so if we put them next to each other, we're looking for the slightly darker of the two. Okay, and you're only going to be able to see if you put them side by side. So the slightly darker of the two, we need this red. Our yellows, again, when you look at these just here by the camera, they look all the same. However, if you put them side by side, you'll notice that three of them are significantly lighter than the rest. And then you have this guy right here. So again, of all of the lighter yellows, you want the darkest of the lighter one. Okay? And then your blues, again, same situation. You're going to be looking for this blue specifically. So again, not the three lighter ones, not the three darker ones, but this one right over here. Again, it's very close in color. When you get down to these two, you're looking for the more true blue. It looks like blue. This one looks like a little bit more lighter, if you will. So again, we're going to need our red, yellow, and blue. And then in your pack, you're going to look for a purple, an orange, a green. And again, just look for the ones that look like a true purple, true orange, true green. And they're going to need white and black. So once you've got all of our colors, you're going to go ahead and open up your art book, turn to the classwork section. We're going to flip to the section that we've been doing our work on. We worked on kind of just practicing gradients. We worked on mixing colors. We've worked on creating a shadow value and practicing those gradients. And today, again, we're going to be creating and kind of going over the color wheel and color theory. So as I mentioned before, it might be a better experience if you take the paper out of your book and work on a very flat surface. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your ruler and you're going to want to make a grid. So I'm going to draw this grid out real quick. And I want you guys to kind of follow. So horizontally, we're going to break our page up into thirds. And then vertically, we're going to break the bottom two also into thirds. And then the top one, we are going to break in half. So it should look just like this. Now, once you have this all written out, I want you guys to go ahead and write all this information here in each square. You guys don't forget, you can pause the video and you can go ahead and write all this down and then continue on. So once we have all this written down, we are going to need to start out with our red, blue, and yellow color pencils. Okay? So color theory, and color is the hue that is produced when light is reflected off an object. Hue is the dominant color, but color can include tints, tones, and shades. And if you guys can recall back, hue is just the fancy word for the color. So if I say hue, I'm referring to the specific color in my collection of colors. So here, this hue is red, this hue is yellow, this hue is blue. When we look at a color wheel, the color wheel is specifically set up in a circle. Every color is placed strategically, and then you will see here in just a sec why they're placed the way that they are and what each color does and how you get to achieve your secondary colors and your tertiary colors. So, the first three colors that are red, yellow, and blue, those are called our primary colors. You're going to want on your paper to put them down in a triangle form. So I'm going to start here. Start with red. Yellow. And blue. Again, these three colors are our primary colors, so we're going to go ahead and just mark those there while we're at it. The next colors are going to be our secondary colors. They're called secondary colors because you need these two colors to make that color. So red, yellow make orange, yellow, blue make green, blue and red make violet or purple. And so here, what you'll do is, and you want to use these three specifically, so we can kind of get a solid understanding of how these colors are mixed and how they could be used. So, we'll do orange first. So here, you're going to want to put it right in the center of these two colors. And you're going to achieve, again, orange. Now, orange, since it is a secondary color, is equal parts yellow and red. So when you're doing this here, you are going to have to go ahead and kind of manage your pressures and mix them together. Again, you want equal parts red, equal parts yellow. You might have to push a little harder for yellow to kind of get onto the page to mix and create orange. Next is going to be green. Again, you need yellow and blue to achieve green. So here, again, between yellow and blue, kind of right up here in between the two, we are going to need equal parts yellow and equal parts blue. Now here, if there's a point, just like me, where you put too much blue, you could always go back and add more yellow. And again, your goal is to achieve the color green. So last up for our secondary colors is going to be violet or purple. Here, red and blue, you mix the two colors to get, or the two hues, excuse me, to get violet. And so again, we are going to need equal parts blue and equal parts red. Now, when mixing these colors, it's always a good idea to kind of start off light. You want to start off with like kind of lighter pressure so you're not necessarily pushing super hard, and then you're going to add equal parts of each color and kind of allow them to mix together to achieve a violet. Now, if your violet is looking kind of really dark, it's totally normal. That's kind of what happens when you mix the raw colors together. However, again, I wanted you guys to mix these colors so you can see physically what it takes to mix the colors together. So again, since we have our secondaries here, we can go ahead and use the colors that we just made right over here in secondary. Now, if you want, just to make your life a little bit easier, I will allow you to go ahead and use these secondary colors just so you don't have to fiddle around with mixing the colors and wasting that time achieving the perfect green, orange, or violet. So again, I'm just going to pop down my secondary colors right over here so that I have it for reference. But again, do understand, in order to achieve these colors, you got to use your primaries to mix them to achieve your secondaries. So last up is going to be our tertiary colors. So the way that I remember tertiary colors, I think of it as like 3 parts, right? So if I were to break this up into 3 sections, I would add 2 parts. So if I'm talking about the yellow-orange, I would add 2 parts yellow and 1 part red. And here for red-orange, I would add 2 parts red and 1 part yellow. So essentially, when you are going to yellow-orange, you're adding more yellow than red. When you're going to red-orange, you're adding more red than yellow. So here, when we're mixing, we'll start with red-orange. We are going to want to put down a very heavy or a good portion of red. And then you want to just put down a light portion of yellow. Again, your goal is to not necessarily have a pure red. Your goal is to have a slightly more orangey red, if that makes sense. Here, again, for our tertiary color yellow-orange, we're going to want to have more yellow. So you want to put a heavy, handy yellow down, and then just a light amount of red. Voila. So next up, same thing, yellow-green, blue-green are tertiary colors. So here you're going to want to have more yellow than blue, and then over here you're going to want to have more blue than yellow. So we'll start with yellow-green. Again, you're going to want to put down a heavy amount of yellow, and then just a nice light amount of blue. And then over here, the opposite, a heavy amount of blue. And when I say heavy, I'm talking about pressure. I'm talking about pushing down a little bit heavier so that you can achieve a more rich, vibrant color. So again here, heavier blue or more blue, and then just a little bit of yellow. And then last but not least, you have your tertiary colors for red-violet and then blue-violet. So remember again, here, more blue than red. Over here, more red than blue. So we'll start with our red-violet. So again, we're going to do a heavier amount of red, and then just a light amount of blue. Then over here, we're going to do a heavier amount of blue, and just a light amount of red. Voila. We have our wonderful color wheel. So we'll finish it up by go ahead and marking down our tertiary colors. So if it helps you, what you can do is, again, you can put down your first tertiary color, which is going to be violet, and then a heavier amount of blue. Then your second tertiary color is going to be violet and a heavier amount of red. So that's for those. Over here you have your red, orange, yellow, orange. So again, you're going to take orange, and then more red, and then again orange, more yellow. And usually always with yellow, since it's a light pigmented color, you almost always have to add a lot more pressure than the rest of the colors. And then over here we have our yellow, green, blue, green. So we can go ahead and take our green color pencil, pop the green down. We'll do blue, green. We'll do another green. And then we'll have yellow. Again, with this one you might have to add a good amount of pressure to achieve the color that we're looking for. Alright, so next up we're going to talk about the rest of our color schemes. So when we look at color schemes, you can use color in a very specific way to kind of control mood and the feel and the way that the art is interacted with. And with a specific combination of colors, you're able to achieve kind of anything that you really want. So the next color schemes that we're going to talk about are analogous colors. And analogous colors are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. And what that means is if we have red, the analogous colors for red are going to be its neighbors, so the tertiary colors. So red violet and red orange. So what we can do is we can do red on both sides. We have red violet and red orange. We can do, let's say if we do like green, right, if I have green as my main color, we can do blue. We could also do yellow-green. So again, analogous colors is one color plus its neighbor on both sides. So again, the both left and the right. And then we'll do one more. Let's say we do yellow. Yellow, and then we would have yellow green, and then yellow red. So remember, yellow green, yellow red is just a little bit of red, because more yellow than red, and more yellow than green. Voila. Monochromatic. Monochromatic is a color plus black or white, which again, black or white could be either a tint or a shade. And so what this would look like, we would, let's go ahead and grab, let's say our red, and we'll do red here in the center. And then let's do five circles for red. 3, 4, 5. In the center we'll start with just our standard color, and then to the right we'll add some white. As you go, it's more and more white. And then to the left, we'll add black. Which as you go, it gets so a light amount of black, and then a heavier amount of black. So again, monochromatic refers to, again, just the color that you're using, plus black or white. So again, the color, plus black, plus white. We'll do a couple more. Let's do yellow. So remember, whatever color you choose, just to kind of represent monochromatic, you're going to do 5 circles or 5 dots. To the right, we'll add white. And again, the further that you go right, you're going to gradually add more. And when we go to the left, you're going to start with a light amount of black, and then gradually add black as you go. And we'll do one more. Let's do green. Why not? Just remember, green. We'll do 5. And then to the right, we're going to add white. gradually adding more and more as you go, right? And then same thing here. You're going to do a light or a light pressure amount of black, and then a little bit more heavier pressure of black. So again, monochromatic, one color plus black or white. So complementary, and this one's very important, refers to any color that you're talking about, and its complement is across the color wheel. So if I'm talking about blue-green, the complement to blue-green is red-orange. The complement to red is green. The complement to violet is yellow. And so here, just to kind of practice, let's go ahead and just put down yellow. Let's go ahead and put orange. And then let's put violet. Why not? So again, if we're going to look for their complements, again, yellow's complement is violet. Orange complement is blue. And violet is again yellow. I should have put a different color there, huh? Oh no, I messed up. Here, put an X to that. Yellow. There you go. Let's do a couple more. Let's do it. Red. And we know that red's complement is green. And so on again. So complementary colors are just right across the color wheel from one another. When we talk about warm and cool colors, we are specifically talking about, and if we were to look at the color wheel, and if we were to kind of split it right in half, all of our warm colors are going to be on one side. So warm colors, think about like the sun or a sunset. Again, your oranges, your reds, your yellows, and then just your yellow-green. Your cool colors are going to be the other side. So your violets, your blues, some of your greens. These would be kind of like more darker tone colors, kind of moody, more kind of like the ocean or kind of a nighttime sky. Again, warm and cool. So as you can imagine, when we are talking about warm colors, and I'm going to mark those down as I'm talking. When we talk about warm colors, they are used to kind of change the mood or the feel of a painting. So if you're going for kind of like a happy, energetic, kind of uplifting painting, you want warm colors. If you're going for a more darker toned, kind of trying to convey a meaning or really, kind of sad, if you will, you would want to use more cool colors. And then, last but not least, we have a triadic color scheme. So I put triangle because this, again, is the best way that I remember a triadic color scheme. And when we talk about triadic color schemes, we're talking about a triangulated color. So here, if I wanted to use red, and let's say I was struggling to find other colors that work with red, I can consider doing a triadic color scheme and look to my color wheel to select colors that work with red. So here, if I were to take red and I wanted to use a triadic color scheme, I can use yellow and blue. Let's say I wanted to use green. If I wanted to use green, I could also use orange and purple or violet. If I wanted to use yellow-green, I can use the colors for a triadic color scheme, red, orange, and blue, violet, and so on. So again, remember, we use the color wheel as a tool to help us decide what colors to use and which ones work better or best with each other. So again, just to kind of bring it down, I'll give you guys an example. examples of a triadic color scheme. So again, our first triadic color scheme would be red, blue, yellow. And the second one, utilizing secondary colors, orange, green, and violet. Alright guys, so this is our quick little kind of crash course into color theory. As you can imagine, color theory goes on forever and ever and ever. I can literally be here all day talking about it, but these are our main basics, and we are going to be using these as we move forward with the practice of color pencils and using it for the project that we have coming up. So I want you to go ahead and send me a picture of your work. And once you're done creating this, I want you to go into your art journal, your art book, excuse me, and I want you to flip back to your journal section. And I want you to go ahead and I want you to pick a previous journal, and I want you to color the whole thing utilizing one of these color schemes. Again, remember, when we look at colors and we struggle of what combinations to use, we can fall back to our color schemes and the color wheel to help us pick what colors that we want to use. So again, I want you guys to go back and I want you to find a previous journal entry, and I want you to use one of these color schemes that you choose and that you would like to use. So with that said, as always, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm here available for you in our personal channel. Other than that, I miss you guys. I hope to see you soon. Hope everybody has a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.